Hey, welcome back to the Food Forest. Today we're going to do a review of this Hiboy P6 Fat Tire E-Bike. Stick around. Today's video is sponsored by Hiboy. They sent me a P6 E-Bike to review, and I've recently just done a video on the importance of electric vehicles, electric bikes, like e-bikes and e-scooters on reducing our transportation footprint. This is a Hiboy P6 Fat Tire E-Bike, and it was the bike that I selected specifically for a few reasons which I'll get into later on in the video, but I really wanted a stable e-bike that I could ride for a really long time, and I could ride on varying terrain. I could take this into work, I could take it out into the food forest, I could take it with me when I go plant trees in wild spaces. Because it's a fat tire e-bike, it's got a more powerful motor, it's got more torque, and it's able to go up steeper inclines, which is really important for what I want it for. So first, I'm going to take you back to when we were unboxing this e-bike, show you how it comes in the box. It was super easy to assemble.
What's up with you, Harry?
Alright, welcome back to the channel. We are going to unbox this Hiboy P6 electric bike. My son, William here, he wants to unbox it. He was really excited to open this thing up, so let's open this up and put it together. This is like heavy duty, eh? Yeah. Alright, so here it is fully assembled. It is a solid piece of equipment. Alright, we'll take it out and try to ride it in the snow. Careful.
I got it up the long board.
What do you think?
It's good. I got 37.
We have other Hiboy products as well, so I really wanted to reach out and contact this manufacturer. We've got some e-boy scooters that we use all the time when we're camping, and the kids use it around out here to go to their friends' houses and stuff like that. This e-bike here will actually allow me to commute into work. But I love biking, I love being out in nature, I love getting exercise in a way where I'm outside doing something instead of stuck in a gym, for example. So I really like the idea of the e-bikes. I like that I can use it on long drives to kind of hill assist in really bad spots where my knee might hurt. Now there's a lot of e-bikes on the market, and fat tire bikes aren't necessarily for everybody. And Hiboy sells a bunch of different types of e-bikes, you know, e-bikes, e-scooters, that sort of stuff. So I'll talk about the pros and cons first of what a fat tire bike will give you. So why would you want a fat tire bike over a thin tire bike? Okay, a few things. Thinner tire bikes are going to give you more range and more distance per kilowatt hour charge on your battery. Additionally, if you're just driving on really well paved, smooth surfaces, a thinner tire bike is probably a little more nimble. It'll be able to handle and maneuver a little better. A fat tire bike is going to be kind of like an SUV or a truck of the biking world. It's going to be really comfortable, really stable. Lower tire pressures means that you can get more grip on the road. Stronger motor will actually mean that you can hill assist much easier. You can go up much steeper hill climbs on a fat tire bike because the motor is just simply larger. The fat tire bike's also got more power, so if you're not a regular biker, you know, you're just kind of getting into this, or you're a larger person, this will actually drive you much better than a thinner tire bike which has a smaller motor. So this is a 750 watt motor on this. That's the rated capacity. The battery itself is a 24 volt, 13 amp hour battery. So to get the watt hours, you multiply those two together, you get about 626, I think it was, watt hours on the battery. So it means you got roughly around 45 minutes to an hour of charge, obviously depending on how much you're actually assisting with the pedal. The range is around 50 kilometers, 40 to 50 kilometers. Again, it can go up to, say, 100 kilometers if you're providing more pedaling assistance, and you can actually just drive this like a bike and go infinite. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted an e-bike is because our two vehicles are a Tesla Model 3 and a Chevy Silverado 1500 truck. Now, I got the truck because I actually need it for gardening. I need to haul manure and wood chips, leaf bags in a giant trailer, so we need something that can pull the trailer. But what that means is that I'm driving my big truck into work. So in my recent video, I discussed the rough carbon footprint of gas vehicles, electric vehicles, e-scooters, e-bikes, and biking. And just to kind of set the baseline for what we're looking at here, biking is around 8 grams of carbon dioxide per kilometer that you go. That's just riding a bike pedaling. And it's because your heart rate increases, you're breathing heavily, you're exhaling CO2, and you're expending energy. That energy has to come from somewhere. So that energy comes from eating food. And when you account for the average person's diet and what the carbon footprint of that is, you get to around 8 grams of carbon dioxide equivalent for every kilometer that you travel. Now, an e-scooter is going to be roughly double that. E-bike is going to be roughly double an e-scooter, and then EV is going to be roughly double an e-bike, and then a gas car is going to be roughly double an electric vehicle. So this Hiboy e-bike, the fat tires are about 4 inches wide, and you pump them up to around 20 psi. You can drop them as low as, say, 12 psi. That'll give you a really nice cushiony grip if you want a really smooth ride. But again, it'll reduce your range, and it'll actually, increase the carbon footprint because you have to charge the battery more often. But if you really want to minimize your carbon footprint, you can go with a thinner tire bike with higher pressure in the tires. You'll get a bit more of a bumpy ride, but your battery will last longer per kilometer. You'll be able to travel further and charge less. So the suspension is a hydraulic suspension, and we've actually got a nice little light here that we can turn on and off. And there's a dial where you can adjust the suspension stiffness. The brakes are mechanical disc brakes. You can see the battery is really well concealed inside the main frame of the bike. I think the bike looks actually super slick. I think it kind of looks a little bit badass, to be honest. So I think this P6 Hiboy bike is actually the perfect bike for the average person to get into commuting in a way that you're not just stuck to city driving. You can actually go on grasses, you can go up hills easier. If you're storing it underground, like in a parking garage or an apartment complex, and you have to go up a really steep slope like is in some of these parking garages, go up that no problem on a bike like this. About 20-degree grade, absolutely no problem at all. So let's get out there and we'll ride this thing around. I've taken this thing out for about 10 hours now of riding total since I've had it, and really, really enjoy it. It's really smooth. It doesn't feel like a super heavy bike when you're pedaling it. It is about a 75-pound bike, 72 to 75 pounds. So it's a heavier bike. A thinner tire bike would be around 50 pounds. The lightest weight bike that I've seen for an e-bike is around 35 to 38 pounds. So this thing's roughly double the lightest bike. One thing that does give it is extra stability though. It's a little rigid when you're riding it, but I don't find that it's too rigid. I actually find that it's a really smooth, comfortable ride. I really enjoy this, and I'm actually probably going to be looking to pick up a second one so that my wife and I can go to pickleball in the city, and we can both ride our e-bikes down there and not even have to drive in. I'm a big proponent of any kind of transportation trip that you have to take. Really try to bike, walk. If it's further, e-bike, e-scooter, take mass transportation. We're really trying to get as much as we can. We're up in Canada and all of our cities are really far apart. There's a ton of urban sprawl up here. So we do what we can. It's much easier if you're in an urban environment, but we're still trying to do whatever we can to minimize our footprint in every way possible. And this Hiboy P6 E-Bike is going to be perfect for our family, and it's going to get a ton of views. So thanks for watching. Check out the links in the description below if you're interested, and I'll see you on the next video.